Hi everyone! Today's video is a little bit different, but definitely special. Some of you may know this past Tuesday the 15th was the Independence Day of El Salvador, and that is where my boyfriend Henri and his family are from. Anything that I do use makeup wise, as well as facts that I give, I will be listing where I got the facts and the makeup products that I use down the description box. On September 15th of 1821, El Salvador became independent from Spain, and despite any issues that they may have internally with each other, it is a really beautiful country. It's actually the only country in Central America without a Caribbean coastline, but it's also known as the land of the volcanoes because there are more than 20 volcanoes in the region, 2 of which are still active. El Salvador is the smallest country in Central America in an area that's actually slightly smaller than Massachusetts, with a population of around 7 million people, making El Salvador the most densely populated country in the Americas. 64% of the population live in urban areas. Salvadorians are some of the most friendly, warm, and hospitable people you will actually ever meet, and you would agree with me if you know one or have met one, but definitely do not take that for granted. And they do make some mean bomb pupusas. If you know, you know. But here's a tip: eat with your hands. I know Henri will appreciate that little tip. But of course there are many other amazing dishes in El Salvador, but coffee is a big produce of theirs as well, cultivated in the western part of the country, and it's famous all over the world. But with that being said, over 50% of the country is unsuitable for food cultivation. Since the 1960s, El Salvador has lost nearly 85% of its forest cover. And I know I'm probably going to say this wrong, and judge me if you will, I don't care, but the Torogos, or turquoise-browed mama, is El Salvador's national bird, but they are in danger of going extinct. So if you ever see one, consider yourself lucky. But honestly and sadly, these beautiful birds aren't the only ones not doing too great though. El Salvador has one of the highest murder rates in the world, and an estimate of 3 million Salvadorians live in the US currently, mainly in California. But back in El Salvador, 19% of the population live on less than $1.25 a day. Now, I don't know about you guys, but to me, that hurts a bit to hear, especially knowing more than one family from there and dating someone that I love very much. It almost hits home, like it gets a bit personal, and hearing stories about how they used to live and seeing how they live now and how simple things can make so many people happy, it's a little frustrating when you also know the other side, when people think that their minimum wage job is enough, or people are constantly complaining because they think the pandemic is just the end of it because they're not making enough money, or their job isn't good enough, or they have to get somewhere a lot better all the time. But in a lot of cases, some of these people might be making $1.25 to live off a day, and a lot of times not have dinner for their families at the end of the day. But they're probably a lot happier. On that note, I'd just like to remind everyone that from this past Tuesday on September 15th to October 15th, it is Hispanic Heritage Month. So because we are all going through such a tough time with all the pandemic and quarantines happening, please go out and support your local businesses. In this time of need, we could all use a little togetherness and just support each other, whether it be a Hispanic business, Black-owned business, whatever it may be. Just go out and support each other. It's not gonna do any harm. In fact, it's just gonna make everything a lot better, at least for a moment. you could be helping out a family. You could be really helping out a small business owner. And who knows, maybe you could discover a new place that you really love. I really do wish that I could have gotten an input from Henri at least, or at least have him give his side of the story, share a bit where he came from. For those of you who could be curious, I'll write it down just because I don't want to like completely butcher the name, but I'll write it down over here on the screen and show you exactly where it is that he's sort of from, because it is such a small place that it's a bit hard to find, but again, still beautiful. And I do appreciate knowing someone as special as him and his family coming from such a special place and being able to share their culture with me. On that note, I hope you guys enjoyed the look. I hope you learned something new with me. It was definitely a fun and special video to film. And for those of you wondering, the inspiration for the look, it was the flag. And because every flag does have meaning to their colors, blue is for the sea and white was for peace. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.